back to 2800. Now I've put a pencil line there. That I've hand sanded here and the neck and then the inside. Everything's good there. I'm going to power sand the outside. It's running really fast. If you hold the pad in that position, not like that, hold it in this position, you can sand this really easily. Going to take the pad off, hand sand down there where it's solid. If you miss, you'll hurt your fingers. There we go. Again, sand it in perfectly. Okay, so that now again, this at the very end when we'll rework the foot. That can be sanded, so just do a rough sand at the moment if you wish. What I'm going to do now is show you the centre is off on here. I don't want to drill that, I want to hollow that out, so I want to put a screw hole, I want to put a tenon here, so I want to put a screw hole there. The easiest way to find the centre of a circle, if you haven't got it, is just set your dividers slightly more than the centre, just eyeball it, scribe a line there. This point is right on the edge. Come to this side, put it right on the edge, to there, a bit further, scribe a line here, and then quarter it there, and do the same over here, right on the edge, and you're going to get 4 intersecting arcs. So, there's my pencil, here we go. All you have to do is get a ruler and cross from there to there and from there to there, and that's going to find the exact centre of that. I'm going to do that, drill a hole, I'm going to mount it on a screw chuck. This is an adjustable screw chuck. This is a Glazer one. There is another guy that I know is making them, and nice. You unscrew that and it changes the size of how much you can grip on. For thinner bits of wood, it's perfect. And again, nice wide plate for support as well. So very useful, little bit expensive, but it's a useful bit of kit, and it's something I use often. Okay, so there you go. Right, I'm going to cross that, drill a hole, take it out, and I'm going to mount it on the screw chuck. Okay, and put a tenon on one side. Be back in a minute. Drill the hole. Set the tool rest up. Now then, that line that I drew on here when it was between centres was a guide as to how far I can curve this. What we're going to do now is put a tenon on, then a little bit of a curve into the piece. Okay, and the tenon is so we can hold it here to then reverse chuck it, hold it, and then hollow it out. Okay, so let's turn this on. What you may want to do is, just a bit of word of advice, is you may want to wrap a little bit of blue tape around there and leave a little piece flapping, so when it's turning you can hear the flap, and you're not going to be tempted to put your hand through there to switch it off or whatever, and it just makes you aware. Just something you might want to consider. Again, as that, I mean, it's well held on there, it's well held on a screw. If you hit your finger with that, it's going to hurt. In fact, it'll probably break it, so just be careful. Everything's running nice and true. Excellent. So, I'm going to use a parting tool. Tool rest a little high for this cut. I'm going to drop it a fraction. Make sure that's tight. Come in at a slight angle. And you're to be surprised at how small a tenon you need. That's more than ample. Come down a little bit more. Come to there. Put a slight dovetail on. Take this cut. Now, I'm going to put the slight curve in. Now remember where the neck is. Don't go too deep on this. There's no need to sand or do any finishing just yet. Let's just take that, switch it off. Okay, so I was down to, I've gone past the line, but I mean I could see how much I've got and put a bit more of a curve in this. I don't want to cut into that. I'm going another 1/8 of an inch down here. An 1/8 of an inch would take me to there. That should look fine. Okay, back up to 2800. This is against the grain. So I can measure my 1/8. I know where I've got to finish. Just there by the chuck. Right into here. Then I can do a draw cut with the grain. Now because I've got that curve in, when I take the tenon away, eventually there's going to be a nice curve in this side. Let's get a nice finished cut to here. There we go. Switch that off. Again, don't bother sanding it just yet. That's better. That's a nicer proportion there. Nice soft curve. This is going to look really pretty when it's when it's sanded and finished. Right, so lock the spindle, take this off, and we're going to hold it, change it over, hold it on the small chuck. So just show you that. There you go. That's how it was held. Screwed onto there. You can drill this as deep as you want because we're going to hollow all that out. We've got the soft curve on there. Still got the centre point, the holding point there, should I need to hold in the chuck. We've got several options here. Okay, so let's take this piece out, this adjustable screw chuck out. Short, sharp tap. That on, put the chuck back on. Where is my chuck? Here it is. There. And chuck key, turn it around, and we're going to hold it on that tenon there. I'll put my finger in the middle so it gives it even pressure against the jaws. Nip them up. Now what I can do is I can put the curve in on this side and hollow it out, but I have to bear in mind, yeah, I need the curve there first of all. I can match this curve, I can see it. So I'm going to put this curve in first, then go in with the parting tool and we'll hollow it out. I'm going to make sure though, when I go in with the parting tool, that this piece of wood here, okay, I might make that smaller. That's bigger than it needs to be. The smaller that is, the better, or make sure it's a really tight joint. You don't want the water to come out. So, I might reduce that in size, we'll see. First of all, bring the tool stock up, the tool rest. And we're going to start to put this curve in. I can see, because I can see how to match this curve to there, because I can see this curve. Swing it around, make sure nothing's going to catch. That's running fairly true, good. 2,800, small careful cuts. Want a small tenon, don't go mad. Just using the tip of the tool. To come down to about there. Nice planing cut. Let's stop that and have a look. Just do this by eye. That and that. Smidgen, a smidgen. There you go, there's your smidgen. Whatever that is. I'm just eyeballing this, so a nice curve there, nice curve there. Okay, we're going to go in now and hollow it out. That's too big. What I'm going to do is just put a pencil line on. Let's see where I should hold it. Your limitation is how far you can undercut there. I'm going to use my Mate 1 tool, the Jimmy Clues Mate 1 tool, to undercut that. So I reckon I can get away with an insert about that big. Okay, because I know the tool we're going to go in there and it's open enough to get in there underneath, hollow it down to whatever depth I want. We're going to use, where is it? one of these, just make one up, dead simple. That just we can measure the depth. So it was to there, bring this across to here, say there, say right, okay, so we know how deep it is. Dead easy to make. So that's that. That's the insert. So I'm going to get the parting tool. Just change this out. It's well held in there. We've just made a few cuts. We're going to go in here first. That's a good 1/8 of an inch. In fact, so this might just, yeah, I want to go a little bit deeper here. Give myself a better seal, and that cut is absolutely dead square. I'm going to use the width of the parting tool as a little step, which is an 1/8. So then we're going to go in. There. So if I stop that, show you, bring it down. That's where the insert's going to go. Give it something decent to sit into, and plus if it's too thin, it'll warp when it's wet. So there's the joint. There's the little there's the joint there. There's the step that the piece is going to sit on. That is a good 1/8 of an inch, 3/16. We're going to hollow it out now. I'm going to use the bowl gouge just to start. So take that out. There's the tool rest to touch. So whilst it's here, whilst it's held, I'm going to use the bowl gouge. Nice, small, careful cut. Don't go it like a bull in a china shop. That tenon that I'm holding on to is barely an 1/8 of an inch deep. Be careful. Here, when you get to the middle, don't force it out. Take small, careful cuts. And your tool should actually stop when it gets to the middle. Take that a little further. I'll get out what I can. I'm going to have to move this. I'll get out what I can with this tool. Bevel, more square on. We can cut into here. Tip of the tool. Stop, reposition. That cut was getting too heavy, too big. Back off. Take smaller cuts. Right, so there's the step. We're going to leave that much there. What's that? 3/16 for strength when we pop it in, and we're going to hollow everything out. Right, we can get right up, we can get right down into here. Hollow that out. Do you know what? I'm just thinking. I'll tell you what. We're going to change it. We're going to change it. That is too small. I want to make it bigger. So, instant change. Now you're allowed to do this as well. Take that to there. Make sure this is square. Skim that over. Then we're going to come in from here. Change parting tool into the bowl gouge. Right, going to stop that. You can see the hole where we drilled through the neck into the body. So now I'm going to get the Mate 1 tool, set it up and show you how that works. Sweet as a nut. Nice tool. Seriously. Seriously. Let's just check. Ooh, I just made that a little too big. Bugger. I'll have to make a new one now. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Join me in just a minute.